Progressive Libertarian, the alliance that isn't. My one big disagreement with Ed Gleaser's great piece on housing deregulation is when he says, reforming local land use controls is one of those rare areas in which the libertarian and the progressive agree. The current system restricts the freedom of the property owner and also makes life harder for poorer Americans. The politics of zoning reform may be hard, but our land use regulations are badly in need of rethinking. Actually, there are 4 other big areas where the two ideologies converge. 1. Immigration. Immigration restrictions deprive billions of basic liberties, impoverish the world, and do so on the backs of the global poor, most of whom are non-white. 2. Occupational licensing. Licensing laws bar tens of millions of people from switching to more lucrative and socially valuable occupations, all to benefit richer insiders at the expense of poorer outsiders. 3. War, especially the war on terror. Since 2002, the U.S. has literally spent trillions fighting the quantitatively tiny problem of terrorism by waging non-stop wars in the Middle East. We don't know what the Middle East would have looked like if the U.S. had stayed out, but it's hard to believe it would be worse, and there's no end in sight. 4. The criminal justice system, especially the war on drugs. Hundreds of thousands of non-violent people, disproportionately poor and non-white, are in prison. Why? To stop willing consumers from doing what they want with their own bodies. These 4 issues are so massive, you'd expect a staunch progressive libertarian alliance would have been forged long ago. But of course it hasn't. Why not? Some progressives flatly disagree with one or more of these policies. See Bernie Contra, open borders. But the bigger stumbling block is that progressives place far lower priority on these issues than libertarians. That includes war, unless the Republicans hold the White House. Why not? I regretfully invoke my simplistic theory of left and right. The heart of the left isn't helping the poor or reducing inequality or even minority rights. The heart of the left is being anti-market. With some honorable exceptions, very few leftists are capable of being excited about deregulation of any kind, and even the leftists who do get excited about well-targeted deregulation get far more excited about stamping out the hydra-headed evils of the market. Can we make parallel accusations against libertarians? Sure. The second half of my simplistic theory says the heart of the right is being anti-left. Since most libertarians loosely identify with the right, stubbornly focusing on housing, immigration, licensing, peace, and criminal justice, is dry. Though these 5 areas are plausibly the biggest and most harmful abridgments of human freedom on earth, it's more exciting for libertarians to dwell on symbolic issues that drive the left to apoplexy. Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong. June 22nd, 2017. What's libertarian about betting? I'm a libertarian and a betting man. Is there any connection between the two? The facile answer is that reality has a well-known libertarian bias. On some level I believe this, but it's a subtle, long-run bias. Confidently betting on libertarian stereotypes hardly strikes me as a viable get-rich-quick scheme. The sound answer is far more complex. It begins with a simple observation. Advocates of government action typically make extreme claims. They make extreme claims about how awful things will be if government does nothing, and they make extreme claims about how much better things will be if government heeds them. Disagree. Imagine a hawk advocating an invasion of Libya. He could say, invading reduces the risk of disaster from 54% to 52%, so it passes a cost-benefit test. But I've never heard a hawk make such an argument. A typical defense is rather, we can stand here, do nothing, and let Libya collapse into bloody chaos. Or we can take a stand and set things right once and for all. Or imagine a proponent of the minimum wage conceding, there's a 30% chance that the minimum wage actually hurts the poor by increasing unemployment. But there's a 70% chance that wage gains outweigh the disemployment effects, so we should totally throw the dice. That's not how friends of the minimum wage talk. Instead, they'll declare something like, every hardworking American deserves to earn a decent wage, and the minimum wage ensures that every hardworking American gets the decent wage he deserves. Why are proponents of government action so prone to hyperbole? Because it's rhetorically effective, of course. You need wild claims and flowery words to whip up public enthusiasm for government action. Sober weighing of probability, cost, and benefit damns with faint praise and fails to overcome public apathy. Now, suppose my betting norm were universally accepted. Any public figure who refuses to bet large sums on his literal statements is an instant laughingstock, a figure of fun. What happens? Political hyperbole ends for politicians and pundits alike. Hysterical doomsaying and promises of utopia vanish from public discourse. No one serious can afford them. As a result, it becomes very rhetorically difficult to make the case for government to do anything, or at least anything new. Without an inspiring case for government action, government sits still. Utilitarians will swiftly protest. As long as expected benefits exceed expected costs, government should act. They might even add, nothing's more inspiring than passing each and every law with expected net benefits. But this misses the point. Most people aren't utilitarians. They're not even close. Honest, modest utilitarian arguments leave psychologically normal humans unmoved, and without popular support, democracy lies dormant. Why bother? Kills yes we can. So, what's libertarian about betting? It stifles hyperbole, the fuel of big government. Machiavellian non-libertarians will naturally conclude that honesty is overrated. But this too is a bitter pill. A few can cope with the admission that the policies they love rest on errors and thrive on lies. But everyone else will at least wonder if they should give liberty a chance. September 30th, 2015.